What time are you going to be home tonight, sweetie? Are you going to be home for dinner?
Yeah, I will. I'll be home when I feel like it.
When exactly is that? I need to be able to plan at least a little. Can't you give me a rough estimate at least?
I don't know, whenever I feel like it.
You can't even give me a guess. Or tell me why at the very least?
It's just work stuff, nothing you'd understand. It's too complicated to explain to you. Why does it matter when I get home anyway?
Because I have stuff to do myself. I work and take care of the house. I don't really have a lot of time to lose. If you had to take care of the house and kids and work too, maybe you'd get it.
How do you not have time? You work from home and just write all day. There's no way you don't have plenty of time. Maybe you need to learn to manage your time better.
I manage my time just fine, thank you. I hardly waste a minute. Speaking of, I am wasting plenty talking to you. I still have an article to finish by tonight. I was gonna cook, but you can find your own dinner tonight. I don't have the time.
Didn't you just ask me when I was getting home so you could cook?
If you're not gonna tell me, why bother trying to work around your mysterious, unknowable schedule? I'm not a psychic. I have things I need to get done. I've got a ton of deadlines to meet and articles to review. I'm not dropping it all to cook for you whenever you feel like turning up.
You're being super selfish. I work all day to provide for our family, and you can't even bother to cook one meal? You just sit around and do nothing all day. I work and I get nothing for it.
I make nearly as much as you, and I take care of the house. You hardly help at all. In 20 years, you haven't even as much as washed a dish.
In 20 years, all you've done is get fat.
Excuse me? How dare you say that to me?
I didn't say it. Carl from work did. He told me it must be hard to face your friends with how fat you've gotten.
Wow, that's incredibly rude of him. And even worse for you to repeat it. Carl isn't exactly a model himself. Who is he to be talking about other people's weight? Not to mention you could stand to lose a few pounds yourself, Kevin.
All I'm saying is you could put more work into your appearance. Honestly, it makes everyone uncomfortable. Even Ricky tells me about how much he hates being around you.
What do you mean?
It's just unpleasant to be around you when you eat. You're like a pig. The sounds you make when you eat are repulsive. Carl said you shouldn't be making pork chops anymore because it's like you're a cannibal. And Ricky told me you smell like bacon.
Why are you telling me all this? I do everything to support this family, and all you do is insult me. I'm really not interested in what your rude coworkers have to say about me.
I'm the one supporting this family. I'm the one putting the food on the table. Maybe if you lost some weight, you might get all that gunk clogging up your arteries and you could get some more blood to your brain. Then you could get all of this through your thick head and figure out how to do something for the family.
Maybe if you hadn't been fired from your last job, we'd have enough money to where I wouldn't have to work all day and raise our kid. You're making half of what you used to. And between Ricky's tuition and our normal bills, we hardly have enough for the three of us, even with me working.
Yeah, whatever, fatty. I don't feel like listening to this anymore. Let me deal with the money. You should be dealing with all the rest. Carl's wife does everything for him, and she has a part-time job to boot.
Why are you comparing me to her? He makes way more than you do. He can afford to have a single income. His wife doesn't even really work. She's in one of those direct marketing things. She just has parties and sells overpriced makeup to her tennis friends. And I'm pretty sure they have a live-in maid. I don't think I've ever seen Laura do anything other than shop and go to lunch with her friends.
I'm comparing you to her because she's an actual wife. She's skinny and beautiful and knows how to treat her husband right. You're just a selfish, useless hag.
I'm not taking any more of this. If you want to eat a home-cooked meal, make it yourself. I'm done with this conversation. Ricky, when are you going to be home? Are you planning on eating dinner with us?
Nah, I'm good.
Aren't you hungry? It's just about ready.
I already ate. Can't you eat it yourself? I've seen you pig out before. I'm sure you could finish it all.
What's up with you? How can you talk to your own mother like that?
Are you gonna start lecturing me? Dad's right. You're a real stupid tub of lard.
How dare you speak to me like that? I can't believe you'd say anything like that, especially to me.
Why shouldn't I? You hardly do anything for me or Dad. You just act like a victim when all Dad does is support us. All you do is stay at home and stuff your face. That's why you blew up like a balloon this past year.
You have absolutely no right to talk to me this way. You're being incredibly hurtful.
Why should I care about a wild hog like you?
If this is really how you're going to treat me, I'm done. You and your father clearly don't care about me at all.
Yeah, why should we? What have you done for either of us? We don't need a pig like you hanging around. Dad's done nothing but work hard to raise me. What have you even done? Maybe if you lost a little weight, you might get motivated to do something for a change. Other than eat, of course.
Are the two of you really not paying any attention to what I do? You know what? It doesn't matter. Why am I even asking? You clearly don't care what I say. I'm just wasting my time.
Yeah, you are. I don't really want to be seen with you anyway. All my friends think you're a nasty pig. Let me know when you've lost some weight. Maybe then I'll be able to look at you.
You won't have to look at me anymore.
Oh, really? That'd be great!
If I'm really that awful to be around, then I won't be around. Bye. Good luck with school. I guess you never came home last night. I did end up cooking after all, but the plate I made for you was still in the fridge this morning. I even called your work, and your nice receptionist told me that you left the office at 3 to go drinking with your coworkers.
I didn't feel like coming home after all. It didn't seem worth it to bother with you anymore.
Is that so?
I talked a bit with Ricky, though. He said you were in a mood and it wasn't worth it to come home. So I crashed at Carl's place. Why don't you just get out? Leave Ricky and me alone.
Do you want me to leave? Ricky said the same thing.
Yeah, I do. Ricky told me what you said to him yesterday. All you know is how to whine, huh?
So what you're saying is you'd be happier if we got divorced and I left.
Yeah, didn't you get that? Ricky and I would both be glad to see you gone.
Do you really hate me that much? Did you ever really love me?
Did I really love you? Wow, you've got to be kidding me. I tolerated you for a while, I guess. Maybe I did love you at some point. But after 20 years, I can hardly remember if I did or not. And now that you're a fat beast, I definitely don't. I don't think anyone could love someone that looks like you. And Ricky and I both don't want to live with you wallowing around anymore.
If that's how you really feel, I'll leave. It's not worth trying with you two anyway.
Great. We'll be glad to see you leave. Hopefully you can haul your fat self out the house before I get home. If you can even walk. Maybe you should get one of those motorized scooters. Not sure if they make them big enough for you, though.
Fine. If that's how you want it, we can get a divorce. My lawyer will send you the divorce papers as soon as she can. All you need to do is sign and we can end this.
Sounds good to me. I'll sign them the moment I get them.
If you need anything, you can talk to my lawyer from now on. Bye.
Honey, where are you? When are you coming home?
Honey? I'm not your honey. Are you sure you're texting the right person?
No, I definitely am. You're definitely Susan, right?
I might be Susan, but I'm definitely no one's honey, least of all yours. I'm pretty sure I stopped being your honey when you and your son kicked me out of my own home. I may have been your honey at one point, but I'm definitely not anymore.
What are you saying? You're my wife.
You didn't seem to think so a week ago, and now you're coming back and begging me to come home? It's kind of pathetic, really. But no matter what you do, I'm definitely not coming home now.
Come on, don't be like this. We need you here.
Oh, you do? That's a first.
Stop messing around. I'm serious.
Why do you need me now? You said you'd be fine before.
The house is totally filthy. The trash keeps piling up. And there's no food in the house at all. Can't you just do something to help us?
No, I can't. Nor do I ever want to.
Why not? You absolutely can. You did all this stuff for ages.
Sure, that was the old me, from before you decided I wasn't worth keeping around. Now I've decided I'm done putting up with this abuse. Maybe if you and your son were even a little bit grateful for everything I've done, I might be willing to come back. All you did was take me for granted. What, did you think the house just magically cleaned itself? The fairies cooked your food and did the dishes. That all the groceries magically appeared in the fridge?
No, of course not. We were grateful. We still are. We just didn't know how to show it.
Well, you knew how to show how much you hated me.
Oh, please, come back.
No, thank you. I see no good reason to.
Why not?
You agreed to the divorce, didn't you?
Yeah, I guess I did. But that was then. This is now.
Then there's nothing more to say. Once the papers are processed, we'll be divorced. I won't be your wife anymore. If we're not married, I have no reason to keep taking care of you. I'm no better than a stranger to you.
Then who's gonna do all the cooking? And the cleaning? And the shopping? Ricky's just too busy with school and his job at the library to do it. You have plenty of time to do it. Come home and help us. We're your family.
How do you not get it?
Get what?
The moment I walked out of that door, I stopped being your wife. I don't live at your house. Why would I cook and clean for free? Maybe if you paid me my hourly rate, I might think about it.
Pay you? You're kidding.
I'm not. And anyway, I doubt you could afford me. Why not hire a maid? She can take care of you since you're so useless.
I'm not hiring a maid.
Well, I'm not about to do it for you. Figure it out, you idiot.
Who are you to call me an idiot?
Just some stranger you're texting when you could be cleaning. You don't care about me any more than some random person on the street. So why should I care about you? Maybe you can hire someone to care. I doubt you'll be able to find anyone. Either way, it won't be me, though. Here's an idea. Maybe you can ask that girl you were seeing. What was her name? Lana. That name sounds pretty familiar.
How do you know about her?
You weren't exactly secretive about it. My girlfriend said they saw you and her out at dinner, and you gave her a huge diamond ring. No wonder we were struggling to get by, with you blowing all that money on jewelry for other women. And she was married too. I wonder if you even care about Ricky. Not that he cares about you. All he does is sit inside and play video games all day. And all you seem to care about is other people's wives. I wonder what Carl will think when he hears you and Lana were close.
How do you know about that?
Oh, I came to your work one day. The receptionist was kind enough to tell me all about Carl and his trophy wife. She knew all about the affair. Turns out when you insult a poor woman like her all day, she has a lot of motivation to dig up dirt about scumbags like you two.
That pig? I'll have her fired.
Oh, don't worry, she's quitting soon. I found her a job with my publisher. She seems quite happy to be working somewhere where she's actually appreciated. But you better hold on to your job. I spoke with my attorney. We'll be suing you for whatever we can, and I'll definitely try and get alimony. I think what we have is enough to convince a judge, but these texts will definitely be the cherry on top.
But how? Aren't we divorced already?
Not quite yet. It's yet to be filed. And there's just enough time to request changes before it goes through. I've already got the process started. You'll be receiving new papers from my attorney soon. I'm glad it ended up working out this way. Why should I stay with a husband who doesn't love me and a son who'd rather see me dead? I really should be thanking you for giving me this opportunity to start over.
What are you gonna do after you get divorced? There's no way you can support yourself.
I'm doing quite well with my writing. My agent thinks I might be able to get a book deal. But I won't even need it with your alimony checks.
Are you really gonna ask for alimony? I can barely afford to live on what I make already. You're just gonna sit around and live off my paychecks.
Don't worry, I'll be plenty busy. My company's starting to take off.
Company? What company?
You really don't pay attention to anything I say, do you? I started a company last year to support my writing work. We publish articles about local businesses and restaurants. We've got a bunch of promising young journalists on our payroll. That's how I've been making enough money to put Ricky through school. Since what little you make barely covers our expenses. Did you really not realize?
I guess not.
In fact, I've been making more than enough to cover everything. The mortgage, the bills, food. And good thing too, since your entire salary goes to pay off your credit card debt. You really should pay more attention to your finances.
What am I gonna do now?
Maybe you should break it off with Laura. That might save you a few bucks. And instead, use what little you make to support yourself and your son. You won't see a red cent from me, that's for sure.
Come on. Come back. Don't let us live like this. At least come back for Ricky's sake.
Ricky doesn't want me there any more than you do. In fact, he was the one who told me to get out first. And anyway, he's an adult now. If he doesn't want my help, I'll respect his wishes. Like you should with mine.
Then come back for me at least. Don't let me rot like this.
You were the one who threw me out of my own house and asked for a divorce. And now you're crawling back to me? Begging me to come home and dote on you like a helpless child? I'm not interested. Now that I have the time, I'm going to take care of myself. Maybe join a gym, slim down a bit. I'm actually looking forward to it. Maybe I can find a new husband, one who actually appreciates me for who I am and doesn't treat me like a slave. Hope you can figure it out. But stupid animals like you don't know how to do anything. Good luck, you dirty dog. After that, the judge agreed to reconsider the terms of divorce. With all the testimony and record of Susan's conversations with Kevin, she got everything she wanted and more. Kevin was ordered to pay alimony despite attempts to fight it. All his appeals were rejected by the judge, and he saw nearly half his paycheck go to pay off his debt to Susan. Susan, who was making more than enough from her own work, decided to donate it to charity. Kevin could no longer afford to pay for Ricky's tuition, and Ricky was forced to drop out of school. Ricky had no choice but to work to support himself and could only afford community college after his dad began to pay alimony. Meanwhile, Susan's company took off, eventually being bought by a massive media conglomerate. She also managed to get a book deal, and her book sold millions of copies in its first week. She now lives in a beautiful penthouse suite in a high-rise apartment with her new husband. They're expecting their first kid in the fall. Susan, feeling some motherly instinct, was kind enough to help Ricky re-enroll and pay for some of his tuition with her royalties, but they never did manage to mend their relationship. As for Kevin, he's still stuck in his dead-end job and working alongside Carl, a fellow divorcee. Him and Carl don't get along terribly well these days, but he has no choice but to keep working to keep on top of all of his debt.
Hey there, office drone. Guess whose son just got hired to work at your same company? Could it be the son of the largest shareholder? That's right, you guessed it. Oh, I see. That's right. This company finally recognized a genius such as myself. There was some pretty fierce competition over who would hire me in the end, really. But thanks to my dad pulling a couple of strings for me, what with him being the primary shareholder and all, I ended up here. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is, don't forget whose son I am. Got it?
Yes, I'll make sure to keep that in mind. So, what does this mean as far as the actual job is concerned?
Frank! You don't seem to understand yet. Your new job is to do whatever I say and don't ask questions, okay?
You want me to do whatever you say? Do you have any concrete examples of the type of request you might be making of me?
What? Are you stupid or something? Geez, do I really have to explain every single little detail to you?
I am sorry if I'm a little confused.
You're really gonna try and make me spell this out for you. Okay, I will make this as simple as possible for your tiny little brain. Here, I'll even write some instructions so you don't forget. Every morning when I go to work, I want you waiting in front of the building with an Americano from the cafe across the street. And anytime I have overtime, I'll be sure to pass the work on to you. I'll also be sure to make sure you handle any claims that I might be asked to deal with. Not to mention, any miss or mistake will also be coming down on you. Got it? And whenever I ask, I expect you to go and find out the numbers of any woman in the office that I point out. It is also now one of your new duties to make sure that my desk is always kept in pristine condition. And whenever I tell you to do something, you will answer it with, "Yes, sir." Do you understand everything I've written here? I feel like I kept it pretty simple for you.
No, I'm afraid I don't understand at all. None of that had anything to do with work at all.
Oh, so the office peon is gonna put on a fight, huh? Do you really think that's so wise given your position? Have you forgotten that my father is the largest stakeholder for the entire company? If you try and fight me, all I have to do is speak to my father and you'll be fired.
I just don't think that it's very appropriate for you to be lording that kind of authority over others.
And that is exactly what some poor guy who's never had any kind of real power wouldn't get. In this world, power is everything.
I really hope that you don't see the world in those terms.
It's the only way the world can be seen by great people. And that's my whole family is made up of. My brother, my cousins, my grandfather, even my niece. Every single one of them is a high-ranking officer of some of the largest companies in the world. It is our birthright. We're above having to listen to petty gripes of poor people like you. So good luck being my slave from now on.
Hello, Clarissa. Is everything all right?
Oh, Frank, thank you for earlier. Kyle was just about to make me go to lunch with him.
So he was able to pass all of his work to you, but at least you managed to avoid the lunch.
If I'm being honest with you, I'd rather be buried in paperwork than ever have to take that violent, narcissist scumbag out to lunch.
Yeah, he really seems to have a thing for you, I think.
No, that's not it. He's just hooked on the idea of trying to make every woman in the office his personal secretary. He's honestly such a scumbag. He only sees women as things to be won. And he's always threatening to have us fired.
That's horrible. I'm so sorry to hear that. I think we really need to do something about him.
I agree, as long as it doesn't get us into trouble. But I really am thankful for you always helping out around the office. The thing is, now I'm just really worried about doing anything that might draw any more attention from him.
Well, I don't mind at all. Leave it to me. Anyway, if anything happens again, just let me know. I'll do my best to help out, however I can.
Thank you, Frank. The same goes for you. If you need anything, just let me know.
Yeah, of course.
And if that creep ever pulls anything shady with you too, you can always talk to me. In the end, we might not be able to do anything about that guy, but as long as we can have someone to talk to about him with.
Clarissa, thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey there, my loyal servant. How did you like the taste of a knuckle sandwich earlier?
You really are a piece of work. Do you know that?
Aw, is the little baby at home while his mommy nurses him back to health? It's almost bedtime for you, isn't it, little guy? Well, this is exactly what you got for trying to get between me and Clarissa with your pathetic little speech about leaving her alone.
Are you serious? You don't think that maybe you just went a little overboard?
Well, the lady is mine either way. Got it, punk?
I really don't think that she feels the same way for you, and I think we'd all appreciate it if you quit messing around while at work.
Excuse me? Oh, you've really got a mouth on you now, don't you? You've got some nerve talking to me like that. Do you really think that some office monkey peon like you stands a chance against such a powerful family like mine? Try it and I'll beat you into a pulp again. I hit you because you were forgetting your place in the food chain and tried to disobey me. Did you know that with just a word to my father, I could have you fired?
But your father is right here begging for my forgiveness as we speak.
He's what? My dad is doing that? And he's apologizing to me? What are you talking about? Where is he?
That's right. He's apologizing right here, right in front of me.
Shut your mouth. My dad would never. You're lying to me. My dad isn't the kind of person who would apologize to some lowly worker drone just for a little scrape with his son.
And yet here he is just doing that. He's in my home as we speak. We're sitting at my table right now.
I don't believe you. This conversation has gotten ridiculous. And just why would my father take the trip all the way just to meet with you?
Well, his son did beat up the grandson of the chair of the board after all. It's only natural that he would go out of his way to apologize, don't you think?
Wait, sorry. What are you talking about?
I must have forgotten to tell you, but my grandfather is the chairman of the board.
Huh? Wait, you're trying to tell me that you're the chairman's grandson?
That's right. I'm none other than the prized grandson of my doting grandfather, chairman of the board. Ever since my dad died, my grandpa has been the acting company president. But in the future, all managerial rights will be transferred to me and I will take over the company.
But you can't do that. My father is the primary shareholder. My dad is even stronger than the company president. You could never do that.
I'm afraid that is where you're wrong, Kyle. Of course, the president of our company holds more power than your father. Or don't you know? Your dad only holds 3% of the company's stocks.
What? Do you even hear yourself? My dad is the primary shareholder. Now I know you're just lying to me.
The thing is, when the company first started, it was done with the assistance of many different investors. So most of the investors are just small shareholders.
And my dad is the largest with just 3% of the company?
Yes, it finally seems like you're starting to get it. Anyways, your dad is actually about to be arrested for carrying out insider trading.
Wait, what?
That's the real reason he came all the way here to apologize to me. Actually, your dad was in the middle of trying to work something out with my grandfather when they both heard about our little scuffle. So I guess at this point his apology might not cut it for your poor dad. I still don't quite feel like forgiving him, if I'm being honest.
But if my dad's arrested then... Please, Frank, I'm sorry, I promise. I'm such an idiot, I don't understand anything, so please. I'll sit and reflect on my actions. I'll think about all the things that I did wrong, so please forgive us.
Okay, I'll forgive you. If you quit.
You want me to quit?
Well, it's like you said. For all the things that you did wrong, it's only natural you should be fired. You never do your job. All you do is act belligerent and bother everyone else in the office. Don't you think that an employee who acts like that should be fired?
Please, anything but that. I'm begging you here. How am I supposed to apply for work at other big companies with a firing on my record?
Anyways, I need to start on this damages report, which I will need to file with the police.
But why? If I'm arrested, that'll be even worse than a firing.
Speaking of arrests, right after you joined the company, you let out some of the company's top secret information to your dear old dad, didn't you?
Me? No, I don't remember doing that.
And just after you did that, your dad went and bought more stocks, didn't he? Which means that you'll probably also be arrested as an insider and collaborator. And those charges are going to be alongside the assault ones, so it seems that you'll be in for quite the pinch.
Wait, now just a minute, please. Why are you talking about having me arrested all of a sudden? You think I was helping my dad with insider trading? Do you even have proof of the kind of accusations that you're making right now?
Oh, I do. I received some from Clarissa.
Clarissa did what?
You left behind plenty of proof of the trades you made. There's not a jury alive that would find you innocent.
No, you've got it all wrong. She just set me up, that's all.
You're saying that Clarissa set you up?
The truth is that she was threatening me. She was mad at me for turning her down, so she's trying to set me up as some kind of petty revenge.
So you're saying that Clarissa leaked the information to your dad? She's the inside trader?
Exactly, yes. She was in charge of the meeting where we talked about the classified information, and then after that she was telling her friends what stocks to buy. And then she told my father and I about some stocks to buy as well. That's exactly what happened, I promise. I was just doing what Clarissa suggested. I promise I've never done anything like insider trading in my life. The only one who should be punished for all of this is her.
Wow, you came up with that lie right away, didn't you? What you were saying about Clarissa going to her friends to tell them what stocks to buy was actually because ours were about to take a hidden price. I've already confirmed all of this with Clarissa herself.
What are you trying to say?
One of the conditions that Clarissa accepted for going back on that deal was that our stock price would dip slightly. So she went to some of her more wealthy friends to ask them for some support.
So then, how much profit did this time's stock purchase make?
It made no profit at all. But the problem isn't this time's. The problem is last time's purchase.
What do you mean?
I think you might be forgetting that I talked to your dad who leaked all that info to you right after joining us. You told him to buy as much as he could right away. And in the end, your dad ended up making a cool $3 million with that info, didn't he? That's where you come in as an inside trader.
No, that's just a coincidence. I promise that I never leaked any information, ever.
Did you really think that no one would ever find out? And did you really think there was no one else in the whole office when you committed your crime?
I had no idea anyone knew about that.
It's too bad, really. You're not even a good criminal. That's right, there was someone. Clarissa caught the whole exchange you made with your father and recorded it from the camera on her computer.
Wait, what? She recorded me?
Yep. I guess she was just careless and happened to leave the camera on. She must have just forgotten to stop the recording from her laptop once the meeting was over. So I guess the computer just continued recording even after she went home.
And you can see me talking on the phone in this video?
That's exactly right.
So you're really gonna have me fired and then arrested? Are you really so cruel? Do you know who I am? Who my family is?
Yep, that's basically the gist of it.
No, you can't. I'll be ruined. What'll happen to my career if you do this to me? I'll be left with nothing.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You really will be left with nothing. Speaking of, good luck finding another job at a company like this one. I can't think of a single place that would hire a convicted inside trader like you've become.
Then, how am I supposed to find a new job? What am I supposed to do for work if you're saying that no one will hire me?
Don't worry, I'm not done with you yet.
What? Please, show me some mercy. What else have I done?
Not you. I just don't think you should think too lightly about what my grandfather has in store. Your little sister, who was planning on joining the company next year, we've decided not to move ahead with her hiring.
You're even gonna go after my sister?
You know my grandfather is known as a kind of don of the financial world around these parts. I don't think there's a single company in the country where someone hasn't heard of him. And because of that, he is going to be putting a permanent hiring freeze on all members of your family.
A permanent hiring freeze?
Your elite family, your brother, your cousin, your grandpa, your niece, they're all fired.
Wait, please, just make this stop. You can't be serious. You can't fire all of us for this. Isn't that unfair? There's no way you could even make sure a whole family of people don't fight jobs. Have you gone crazy? What are you even talking about?
Oh, it's not me doing all of this. It's all thanks to my grandpa. Besides, every single one of you are trash that belongs in the garbage anyways. Especially you. So proud after hitting someone, it's enough to make my blood boil.
What?
But it's not just you, Kyle. It's your whole family. I bet the whole family participates in some kind of insider trading within their companies. And I bet you knew all about it before joining mine. So you probably all profited off your little info leak.
No, I promise. I just started here, that's all. Besides, this is my first time ever doing something like this. So please, have some mercy. Can't you just forget about all of this and let me go just this once?
The lies just roll out of you naturally, don't they? There's no one left to help you here. Besides, you don't have any power in this company anymore.
What are you saying?
Just who do you think you are talking to someone this much better than yourself? After all, in this world, if power isn't everything, right? After that, one by one, all the Anderson family were arrested for insider trading. The family's crimes were quickly picked up by the news, and soon everyone knew all about what the Andersons had done. And the prodigal son, whose charges included among them assault, had plenty of articles written about him, exposing his explosive outbreaks and ways in which he bullied his co-workers. But wait, there's more. The entire Anderson family, which rode on their own coattails to success, entirely collapsed with none of the family members able to find secure employment. As for me, the one who exposed all these wrongdoings, I'm working hard to learn about leadership from my grandpa as I prepare to become the next official company president. And after a few years working in the position, when everyone has gotten used to the idea of me being in charge, I'm planning to propose to Clarissa. After all, in this world, power is everything, right? That's why every day I'm working as hard as I am to become a manager that everyone can respect.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.